Back on the Ultimate Dallas Sports Show, and joining us now live from Great Wolf Lodge in Grapevine, Malachi Lawrence, Dallas Cowboys rookie first-round pick, the defensive end out of UCF, ready to chase after the quarterback a little bit for Christian Parker's defense. Malachi, how excited are you? You are walking kind of the final miles of your summer right now. It's almost time to go to Oxnard and be a part of training camp. How pumped are you for what Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and next week has to hold for you?
Right, I'm very excited. I'm really excited to just show what I can do, and then also I heard the weather out there is great. So
yes, it is.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, no, it's 105 or whatever today here. It's going to be like 72 every single day. At night, bring a pullover.
Mike.
Bring a pullover. You will be cold at night, I promise you. It is a complete change from everything you've been dealing with over the course of the last
all
month.
these guys do is brag about it when they're out there. So
I know, right? We
ready
don't get to
for
go. It's just Mike and all them.
Apologies to those of you that don't get to go. Malachi, you're going to love it. Cowboys fans are fired up for you to be a part of this team, to be a part of this defense, they're certainly hoping anyway, make this defense significantly better than it was a year ago. Tell us about Christian Parker's defense. What are some of the things that you have liked the most over the course of the last couple of months as you've gotten into the swing of things?
Right. I like how he's just using me to my best attributes, and just coming off the edge. He knows that I'm a fast guy, big guy. And he's using me to the best of my ability, I believe. And so I really like that about his defense.
What has the adjustment been like for you mentally going from the college ranks to now realizing you're a professional, you're a first-round pick, you have expectations and all that, and putting the star on your helmet for the first time? What has been this transition like for you?
Right. It's been a great transition. Kind of with NIL in college, you learn a little bit how to be a pro early, but then when you get here, it's kind of totally different. During this off-season training, there hasn't been a coach just telling you need to do this, you got to do it on your own. And so I feel like that's the part of growing up and being a pro.
Malachi, what has it been like? You're one of two first-round picks. What has it been like, coming in with a guy like Caleb Downs and the talent that he brings? What has it been like coming into the NFL together?
Right. It's been amazing. Caleb is a great guy. We went bowling a little bit. I beat him, but that's just the team
okay.
that's just the team bonding that we've been doing. So we've been going bowling together, just chopping it up. He's a great person.
What was your score?
187.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Oh, okay.
He can
All right,
toss.
so
He can toss.
you can spin it a little bit. Now, are you the kind of guy that, you got your own shoes, you got your own ball, or you just show up and whatever they give you, you can roll with it?
I got my own ball, but
See,
Okay.
See, he's a player.
See, he's sitting there going 187. I should have crested 200.
Yeah.
That was a low day for me.
Maybe we need to make this happen when we're out in Oxnard. That would be fun. We can get the whole crew together and go out and do a little more of that. You mentioned having to be kind of self-policing, and you're putting in the work yourself, and you're doing the grind yourself. Buddies with your friend BMAC, Brandon McCall up at MJP. I know you've been working a lot with him over the course of this summer to get your body ready for this season. Where do you feel like you've seen the biggest gains through that process to be ready for your first year as a pro?
Right. Really just working out with Rashawn Gary. I've seen that he's been an all-pro, and so just seeing the work that he puts in and just following it, because if he's been an all-pro, I want to follow those steps and also be a pro bowler, And the things that I've seen, just working on my balance, it's just the little things that Beam and his crew just focus on, and some of the stuff is real hard, we're working on hips, all that, and I'm really enjoying it.
I'm just curious. You brought up Gary. He's another new face. There's a lot of new faces on this side of the ball. Usually rookies come in and they kind of know expectations or get a lot from the veterans that have been around a lot. Are you learning from him more on just how to be a professional, or are you both kind of going through the process of figuring out a new defensive scheme together? How do you balance those two aspects?
Right, it's both. I've had multiple defensive coordinators at UCF, so learning the playbook isn't hard for me. I wouldn't say being the pro, us being in the new defense is hard, but it's just the calls. There's different calls, but football is football. So that's how I look at it.
You mentioned, adapting to different defensive coordinators. What has it been like learning under Christian Parker, who's, coming into his own as a defensive coordinator in the NFL itself?
Right. We have defensive meetings, and he just explains what his philosophy is. and what we need to do to be successful this year. And so, like, now we know, and we have to just put in the work.
What's been maybe the best part for you about moving to Texas? As you've gotten used to DFW, you mentioned the heat. Obviously, that it's not here all the time. By the time you get back from Oxnard, it will already start to chill out a little bit. A little bit. But yeah, as we get into the fall, you'll be fine. But what have you liked the most? What has endeared you most to North Texas?
Just how big it is, and it's just a bunch of stuff to do.
Yeah.
It's like you got to drive 30 minutes somewhere just to do something, or 40 minutes. But I enjoy that. Like, I really do enjoy that.
Yeah, everything is 45 minutes from everything. It does really feel that way.
Especially here.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just
like, one side of the Metroplex to the other is legitimately an hour and a half.
Well, some of that's traffic too. So
yeah. Sorry about that part, but there are a lot of really good things. There's a lot of former Cowboys that go play somewhere else for a couple and end up moving back here because they loved living here so much. So I imagine you're going to continue to fall in love with this area more and more and more the longer that you're here. What are some of the kernels of advice that you've gotten from the veterans? You mentioned Rashawn Gary, working a lot with him, but on either side of the ball, if it's a Dak Prescott, if it's a Jake Ferguson, any of these guys that have been around the Cowboys organization for a while, what are some of the things they're telling you about, hey, this is important to be able to have success here?
Right. The little things. Just do the little things correctly. Like, for example, like, if I'm not on my toes and on my get off, RG will correct me. And, like, you'll think, dang, why do I got to be on my toes? But it helps on my get off, and it takes time if you false step to get to the quarterback. So they just tell me, just lock in and focus on those little things. And then once you keep stacking those days, then you get closer to perfection.
For the guys that were here, like for you, you weren't here last year. You didn't experience what this defense was like a season ago. I imagine you have heard by now it wasn't very good a season ago. What have you heard from the guys that were here last year about the way that y'all have been able to scale up this defense, the way that you guys have been able to round out the core of talent that you have, the ways that things are different under Christian Parker than they were a season ago? Are there some things that you've heard from the guy like, hey, we're doing this a lot different and it's going to make us better?
Right. They've been saying, like, the culture's changed a lot. Like, people are actually coming and, like, just wanting to get better and wanting to work. And I'm not saying that they weren't last year, but what I've heard from the guys that were here last year, and, like, the culture's changed from the coaches to the players.
How much has that been your interactions with Schottenheimer, just getting his energy? We get it in press conferences. I'm sure it's a little different interacting with him personally.
Right. Nah, he's a great coach. His personality is up there, you know. He'll give you those.
It's up there.
It's up there. It's out there. It's a lot of.
Has he gone bowling too? Like, what's his score?
No, I haven't gone bowling with him yet.
Okay,
I would.
He plays hoops, doesn't he?
He plays hoops a little. He's the putting competitions. Have you gotten into any sort of competitions with Shotty?
Yeah, not with him, but we've been competing. So, like, we'll do a little free throw competition. I think I made it to, like, the second, like, the semifinals or something like that. But we've been competing every day. I just haven't competed with him yet.
See,
okay. All right, very
that's
cool.
the thing. Shotty's bringing him into his other sports. You need to bring him on the bowling lane.
Yeah, you need to get him out of his comfort zone.
Yeah, seriously.
Right.
Figure it out.
Come into my kitchen. Let's see how you handle this. Last year, we saw a ton of energy from this coaching staff. That was one of the biggest stylistic shifts for this team last summer at training camp, was the competitions that were happening between the offensive coaches and the defensive coaches to see who could have the crazier, more ridiculous, more entertaining warm-up sequence. Have you guys seen some of that? Are we going to see more of that when we get to Oxnard, do you think?
We've seen a little bit of it. I expect y'all to see more from it because Coach Shotty lives by this motto of compete every day, so we're going to be competing.
A lot of times it's been compared to a collegiate atmosphere. Do you feel, has it felt similar to what you had at UCF, the way that Shotty runs things, the way that this coaching staff in totality runs things?
Yeah, like, it's a great energy. Like obviously we're all pros, so we got to do our part. And so once we do our part, it's up from there.
Malachi, thank you so much. Just tell us a little bit about the event that you're at out there today for Make-A-Wish and why it was important for you to be a part of this today.
Right. I'm at the event for Make-A-Wish at the Great Wolf Lodge. We did a whole bunch. We did water slides, lazy river, wave pool. Like, throw the ball and they had to put it in the this little hoop. But it was great. I really enjoyed it. Just being out here, giving back to the community, showing my face. It's important to me.
I love that. That's awesome, and it's important stuff, and it helps to ingratiate you within the community as a Dallas Cowboy. I'm sure you've made a lot of kids smile over the course of today, so good on you for getting out there and doing that, and we will see you in Oxnard in a very short period of time.
Where it's not so hot.
Yes, sir. See y'all too.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Malachi Lawrence joining us on the line. Appreciate him sharing some time with us. The Make-A-Wish event this morning at the Gaylord in Grapevine. At Great Wolf Lodge in Grapevine, and had a water park charity challenge with the kids. A lot of different aspects to this over the course of today. A meet and greet, a photo opportunity. Really cool stuff that Malachi Lawrence was out doing at Great Wolf Lodge today in Grapevine. We appreciate him coming and hanging out with us for a couple minutes here on the Ultimate Dallas Sports Show. I liked a lot of what he had to say, especially relative to the changes that we are going to see with this defense. And that's obviously going to be what everybody is most concerned about with this team.
It's definitely needed.
It's incredibly needed, and that's going to be all anybody can focus on, all anybody can talk about over the course of training camp is what differences are there. It's going to be hard to really delineate that from just watching practice.
That said, though, and I understand, you're keeping a lot of things close to the vest at that point in the season, not just because you don't know who's watching, but just because of the nature of things. If the defense is doing decent against this offense in training camp, that's a decent sign.
Yes.
It's a little different. Like last year, for instance, when from what I'm remembering, because I wasn't physically there, but I was seeing a lot of VOs come back. I was seeing a lot of highlight offensive plays, and a lot of it was tamped down because, as Shadi said, he was like, "I'm keeping my 5-iron. I'm only playing out with a 5-iron. I'm not bringing out any of the heavy stuff." So, I understand that's how training camp goes, but one-on-one, if you can play against these guys and at least practice against them and look good, that's already a massive step up and should help their confidence knowing what the offense did last year.
He said he felt like he's heard from the other vets that were here last year, changes to the culture, changes to guys wanting to be better, wanting to work. He said from the coaches to the players, the culture feels different for this defense. He didn't mean it, and he tried to even couch it by saying this isn't necessarily to say that it wasn't that way last year. He tried to make sure it didn't sound like a shot.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if that's what the guys who were here last year are saying about how it feels now, that's discouraging about how it was, but it's encouraging about where they're going from here and what this thing can feel like going forward.
To see that the culture is changing and there's a level of competitiveness that's being built upon. And so I guess you'll see it when you go out there to California.
He's inviting himself bowling. That's what we learned about.
Let's go, man. I'm down for that. I want to see if.
So what's your score then? Are you bowling 187 or no?
I can.
Okay.
I would not claim to be consistent.
Is that your average? That's not your average.
Do you have your own bowling ball?
I do not have my own bowling ball.
Okay.
I have bowled a 225 though before.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I got very close to a clean game that one time. I think there was only one. There was some spares in there, but a clean game is there's no pin left standing in any frame, whether it's a strike or a spare, all the way through. It's the closest I've ever been. Haven't done it, but I've been close. But no, if I'm just because we don't bowl a lot, but Aaron and I will go bowling with some regularity every 6 months or so. If we're lucky, we'll go twice in a 6-month span. So ordinarily, is more like 130, 140, 150 would be the ballpark that I'm in with more consistency. But I can get hot.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
So you're saying if you got hot and you caught Malachi on a bad day, you think you could probably
on a really bad day.
Well, I don't know. Is that 187 for him his high water mark, or is that
he's got his own bowling ball and shoes? Yeah. I'm gonna imagine he was taking it easy on Caleb. Seriously, no.
Hey, Malachi, if you're still watching, let's go, man. Let's
go to the bowling alley.
I loved what he said too about working with Rashawn Gary, Brian McCall up at MJP. I've called him BMAC forever. I stumbled through Brian McCall. Does a great job, and I think they're getting Michael Johnson Performance Center back up and running, which is very cool because it was kind of a COVID casualty, and it was a great spot for a lot of guys to come in and do training for the NFL draft. It was like the
combine
spot
work
to go train for the combine, and it was a COVID casualty, and they're starting to spin it back up, and BMAC has been part of that, and he's been working with both these guys, Malachi as well as Rashawn Gary, over the course of the summer, and that's a guy that would be good for Malachi to learn from. I know that there's...
I've been preaching this. I was preaching it when Gary first got signed.
You.
I even said it at the time. It's like, let's not try and recreate the Packers defense from the early 2020s. Okay, like that's you don't necessarily need all of the retreads, but Gary still has gas left in the tank. You don't need him at 100%. He's a veteran presence. He's a great person, more than that, and he's going to help a lot of these guys grow and develop. More just being around someone that has that kind of experience, that's valuable, whether or not it's going to translate into 9 sacks on the field. The important part is presence, effort, and energy right now.
As Malachi, he mentioned, he's helping him with his stance and like all these granular details that make a difference in the NFL. It's the difference between an inch and a mile. So I mean,
but looking at the linebacker core, like if you're looking at your starting base defense, when it's Rashawn Gary, DeMarvion Overshown, and D. Winters, I already feel a heck of a lot better about that unit than I did last year. Whether or not it's going to perform at a functional halfway through the league defense like we want it to be, I feel confident
that I put it earlier.
Right, but I feel confident that they're going to know what they're doing, that they have the experience, and they're going to have enough time and wherewithal to get everyone on the same page.
Yeah, no, it should look and feel significantly different than last year's defense did. You're going to have, obviously, just a schematic shift under Christian Parker. You're going to have, it's just going to look different with it being a 3-4. This is going to feel radically different than what you saw last year with the Cowboys defense. Does that necessarily mean better? We'll see. But I think there's a lot of reasons for you to hope and believe that it will be better because of the at least different personnel. Just get different bodies in here, because what was here last year wasn't working.
When you hit the floor, is there anywhere to go?
Exactly.
Buddy, we have ripped up the carpet. We have ripped up the linoleum.
We found the secret basement.
And cement. Like there's nowhere else to go down, so it's got to go up. And I think there's a good chance that it goes up, and that it goes up in an appreciable way that makes this football team better and allows them to win football games in 2026.